Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect. Today I wanted to get into Revelations, the 20th chapter, dealing with the 1,000 years and how if you read this it can become a stumbling block, and how to read this chapter and what both 1,000-year periods represent. All right, so without further ado, let's get into scripture. This is Revelations 20:1. It says, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit." All right, and a great chain in his hand. Now, this angel is representative of Yahushai, our Lord and Savior. All right, the Messiah. All right, who sits on the right-hand side of the Most High Himself. All right, now if you understand pretty much what's happening here is he is coming down on the earth, all right, or putting energy down on the earth so that a particular, all right, nation can be put in slavery. That's why you see, and he had a great chain, all right, and the bottomless pit represents the area of Europe, all right, over where our people ruled for a period of 1,000 years, and that's what we're going to get into. All right, so it says, "And I saw an angel coming down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, all right, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years." Now it said he laid hold on the dragon, all right. Now that old serpent, all right, going back to the garden, the people whose energy is of Cain, these are the biblical Edomites, all right. The scriptures, all right, tell you in Thessalonians that he would come, all right, and do the will and the bidding of Satan, all right. They are the children of Satan, all right, the biblical Edomites, all right, which in the form of the Roman Empire, they were in power at this time, all right. This was called what, the pagan Roman Empire, all right. And then under our people, you had what was called the Holy Roman Empire, all right. Now, when you keep reading, all right. Now let's read this again. It says, "And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years." Now, where else can this be found in the Holy Scriptures? All right, this is Revelation chapter 13, all right, in 3, all right, talking about this beast, all right. It says, all right, "And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death," all right, and his deadly wound was healed. And that's what we're going to get into, all right, the death, all right, and the healing of the Roman Empire, all right. It says, "And all the world wondered after the beast." So one of his heads, as it were wounded, is going into this period in which these Edomites were put in captivity for 1,000 years. It said, "And laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent." Now when you look up this word serpent, all right, Orphis, all right, Ophis, all right, it says snake or serpent, all right, which goes back to the garden. All right, this particular nation of people have always came with the energy of Satan, the left hand, all right. Now it said with the ancients, our ancient forefathers, it said the serpent was an emblem of cunning wisdom, all right, which goes back to the garden. It said the serpent who deceived Eve was regarded by the Jews as the devil. So they understood, our forefathers understood that this was the devil, a particular people doing things on the planet Earth, man. Not a serpent actually slithering around talking to people, man. All right. So he was bound for 1,000 years, all right. Now it says, "And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should not deceive the nations no more all right, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loose for a little season, all right? So he was bound, all right, for 1,000 years. Now, we say that this is the Byzantine Empire, and we can back that up that this is talking about the Byzantine Empire, okay? When you type in how long did the Byzantine Empire last, what does it tell you here, all right? It said there were many factors that allowed the Byzantine Empire to last 1,000 years. And at the end of the Roman Empire, which included the fact that Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire, was protected with walls that lasted almost the entire 1,000 years. Now, Byzantine means backwards, and when Esau goes into the Byzantine Empire, he calls it the Dark Ages, in which for a period of 1,000 years, he's telling you that everything was just dark, nothing happened, there's nothing worth recording. All right, but when you go into this history, you find out, all right, like over in Russia, you find out, this is the original Russians, you find out that the people who were ruling over there were people of color. And they had art, they contributed a lot to humanity, and it was a lot that should have been recorded. All right, he was able to cover up a lot of things, but the truth is now coming out. Okay, so these are the original Christians, all right, over in the area of Europe, Russia, all right, Germany. We were all over the place, all right. We didn't just pop up on boats here in America. These are all of the images that reigned supreme, all right, during those times, man, all right. All dark images. This is what the devil came and tore down, man. All right. See that? Who's that? These are depictions. This is a depiction of the Pope Clement. All right, after the death of Apostle Peter. All right, the next Bishop of Rome. See that? Dark images, man. All right. When you keep going down, it gives you more, but you know, pretty much, you know, during these periods, it was dark images, man. And then after that, what happened? You had this, all right? They whitewashed the images, man, all right? Let's look in the Europe, all right? Europe, all right? Our people were ruling. That's why it says here in Revelations, the 20th chapter, that the Messiah, all right, through the Spirit, laid hold on the dragon, and he did that through his people, the Israelites. They were ruling at this time. He laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, all right, because all he's about is deception, man. So the Lord allowed a 1,000-year period where we were recording ourselves and taking pictures and ruling. We were royalty, you know. Esau just lying, man. He's just a liar, man. All right? Israelites, all right? Jakes, all right? Jakes, all right? This is a part of your history too. All you niggas like to do is go back into Africa, but the first slaves came from Spain, all right? Transported to the New World, okay? You see that? Because why? We were over there in Spain, Dutch, Holland, and all of these different places, man. Israelites, all right? Now, getting back into the scriptures, all right? And he cast him into the bottomless pit, all right? Over there in that area of Europe, man, all right? Verse 3, and he cast him into the bottomless pit, all right, and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should not deceive the nations no more, all right? So for a period of 1,000 years, how long did the Byzantine Empire last? Secular history agrees with the scriptures. It's a part of our history, all right? And it's found here in the Holy Scriptures. Now, when you keep reading, it said that he should deceive the nations no more till 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loose a little season. Now, the way you read this chapter is because it jumps. All right, now when you understand the book of Revelations, John, the Revelator on the Isle of Patmos, all right, he was a slave. All right, he basically was a salt miner. You know, they had him in slavery, man. It was said that he was boiled in hot oil, all right, and thrown into captivity where he worked the rest of his life. But he received a vision, all right? He received a vision. Now, let's see here. When you understand how he received the visions, sometimes the visions would be, you have to be in the spirit to see how the vision was given, because certain things he was talking about maybe a particular time frame, or maybe certain things he was talking about in the future, and it switched. All right? But only a man that is in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is ordained to break these things down to the people, man. Okay? Now, when you go into verse 4, all right, it goes into another 1,000 years, which we'll come back to. But the way you read this is from this verse, verse 3, you jump to what? Verse 7. And it's going exactly into what this one said. Let's read it. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. All right? Jump to verse 7. It wouldn't make sense if you jump to verse 4. You jump to verse 7, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. And that is where we find ourselves today. All right? After, like we read in Revelation, the 13th chapter. All right? Salakia. Revelations, the 13th chapter. All right? And I saw, in the 3rd verse, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Okay? So the whole world is wondering after this beast, because it was healed. It was wounded to death. He was put in chains, all right, for a period of 1,000 years, as we read in history and in real history, which is the Bible, the prophecies. It was wounded unto death, all right, and his deadly wound was healed, all right. How was the deadly wound healed? Through the Renaissance period, all right, the Renaissance period. The Medici family, the Borgia family, all right, were able to, the Lord gave them their power, and they were loosed after that 1,000-year period, all right. Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. All right, Satan is not talking about a red man with a pitchfork, man. Let's get it. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:9. All right. Well, let's see. And 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, starting with the prophets, all right, and ending in Yahushua, all right. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Even him, okay, like it says in Isaiah 14, is this the man? Him. This is a nation of people. This is talking about a particular people whose coming is after the working of Satan. So a particular people come in the energy to do the bidding of Satan, with all deceivableness and unrighteousness, all right? And that's what this so-called white man has spread ever since he came from out of the caves, all right, and came into power, all right? Because during this period where Jake was ruling, all right, the majority of so-called white people were in caves somewhere, man, in their respective spirit, according to the book of Job, man. All right. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, man. So, going back to Revelations, and when the 1,000 years are expired, verse 7, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth. All right. What did it say that Babylon did? All right. Let's get Revelation, the 18th chapter. All right. All of this ties in, man. But you have to be able to view all of this through the Spirit. All right. This is Revelations 18:3. For all nations have drunk the wine in the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. All right. Who was the her? Babylon the Great. Spiritual fornication. They've given their nations over to the west, to the ways of the west, to the ways of the beast, to the ways of Satan. Pedophile rings are everywhere. Okay. These different nations are allowing Monsanto to come into their countries. They allow that religion. They allow military bases. All right. And pretty much they commit fornication with the beast. All right. And what that is now leading to, all right, is that the nations are getting angry, according to the people, man. Let's see. Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. All of the earth is drunken off the philosophies of this devil. After he's pretty much, after that, he's in his little season, as we're about to read about in Revelation, the 20th chapter, working wickedness, man. All right. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore are the nations mad. All right. they're driven mad, but they're angry at their condition. They're considering the Lord is putting the Spirit on the earth. All right, which we'll get in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. All right, which will link right to this Revelations. All right. So, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are on the four corners of the earth. He was able to spread his wine. He transgressed by wine. Gog and Magog, in that act, is going to lead to Armageddon. Gog and Magog, to gather them, all right, together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And we can read about the prophecy of all of the nations being gathered over in the Middle East in Joel, and all through the Bible, man. Does it talk about Armageddon, the third woe, World War III, which is being prepared here on the planet Earth. That's what's happening here on the planet Earth. If you're able to receive it through the Spirit, it's prophesied in the Holy Scriptures. What's happening is that his BS, Satan's madness, has driven the world into a state of chaos. Okay? In his season, in his little season, what happened to the earth? The workings of Satan, as we just read. Revelations chapter 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Okay? So he took peace away from the earth, man. What did he do? He oppressed people's heritages. He lied to people. He put diseases in people. He started false flag wars. He turned everyone against one another. He turned the woman against the man. Turned the man against the woman. Made everybody gay. Molest children. The medications destroy everyone. Everything that he's about took peace from the earth. So much that it's going to lead to Gog and Magog, all right, striking missiles over here, man. Which we'll get into that. To gather them together, all right. The number of whom is as the sand of the sea, all right. Let's see here. Gog and Magog, all right. Ezekiel 38, all right. And 2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And when you do the research on these, it's all in the area of Georgia, Russia, Armenia. All right, that area over there, man. All right, and prophesy against him. All right, and we through the Spirit, just like in Ezekiel the 37th chapter, we've been prophesying and waking up the dry bones, but also through these prophecies, we've been telling Russia, we've been saying Russia is going to do this. Now you see nothing but Russia in the news, man. All right, now you see different NATO establishments making alliances with Russia, because these nations are all going to gather together and shoot missiles on the whore, man, because they figured out that pretty much you've ran your course, man. It's time to get rid of you. You've done your job. You've pretty much made all of the world drunken. All right, but now you're getting beside yourself, because you were set up to pretty much make the whole world drunk and accept the New World Order system. But now you're losing your marbles. You've gotten too proud, man. So the Lord, like he said in Isaiah 19, he's going to set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. The Russians are Edomites as well. You see? The new rulers, right? The new Pharaoh. The Edomites are the new Pharaoh. So he's going to set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, man. Okay? Isaiah chapter 19 and 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. That's what's about to happen here, out here in America, man, and all over the world. Okay? Verse 3, Ezekiel 38 and 3. All right? And thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. So there, you're still Edomites. All right? You're still Edomites, but the Lord is going to do what? He's going to turn thee back to that old Soviet spirit, man. Because you've pretty much been in subject in America's bitch for a while. But now you're getting back into that old spirit, that Soviet Union spirit, man. Okay? And the Lord is putting hooks in your jaws. It said, I will turn thee back, and I will put hooks in thy jaws. All right? And I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them hailing swords. All right? Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya. And this is all playing out right now as we speak. As you're listening to this lesson, this is happening in actual secular news, man. Okay? And then it goes into all of the other nations that are going to come together and make an alliance. All right? Let's see. And the point is right here in verse 10. I just want to get this. It said, thus saith the Lord God, it shall come to pass that at that same time shall things come into thy mind, talking about God, and thou shalt think an evil thought. All right? You're going to think an evil thought. All right? The Lord, you see that evil thought. You see that sentiment, all right, pretty much playing out here on the planet Earth, man. All right? Russia is a big part of what's going on in the world right now. All right? So the Lord has it in their mind. He said they're going to think an evil thought. And they're tired of the West. It says, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages, to them that are at rest, you dumbass Americans that dwell safely, and all of them dwelling without walls, having neither bars nor gates. How can we prove this is America? Let's get Isaiah 47. Dealing with the daughter of Babylon. What was one of the characteristics of the daughter of Babylon? All right. Isaiah 47 and 8. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly. Dealing with what? The daughter of Babylon. Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Okay? Sit on the ground. There is no throne. All right? Who can this be linked to? The biblical Edomites. Psalms 137. All right? And I'm just going to the scriptures this way because maybe there's somebody who has never seen this, you know? Maybe there's newer brothers who need this information, all right? Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. The daughter of Babylon and Edom are linked in the scriptures, and there's various ways to do it. And what is one of the characteristics of them? That they dwell as carelessly, all right, that say in thine heart, I am, and none is beside me. The sentiment of the so-called white man is that he is. You see that? He's trying to play the role of the Most High God, man. And you Edomites think you're untouchable, man. But the Lord is putting an evil thought in the minds of those Russians, man. And they're gonna and they're planning on visiting this place. How are they gonna visit this place? With missiles, man. With nuclear warfare. All right? And it all goes back to what is prophesied in the Holy Scriptures, man. Revelations, the 20th chapter. All right? And 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number, all right, of whom is as the sand of the sea, all right? So during this time, all right, what is going to be all hell breaking loose on the earth, man. It says, and they went up to the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about in the beloved city, and fire came down from out of heaven and devoured them. So right when they're because in order for this new world order to be complete, they got to get us out of the way. So they're gonna come after us just like they came after us in past times. But this time, the Lord is gonna lift up that standard, man. And the devil that deceived them, and he's deceived all of the nations. And you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are definitely deceived by him. All right? The devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet, all right, your military might, your church system, the Vatican, your wine, man. The Roman Catholic Church is the false prophet, man. Under that comes even the Baptist Church, man. All right? And shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Now, that forever is not talking about a literal forever. All right? It's just for that age, for that time. All right? However the Lord sees fit. All right? But that's the first 1,000 years, man. All right? That's this 1,000 years that's spoken of in Revelations 20 and 3. All right? Is dealing, all right, with the 1,000 years where we had them in hardcore slavery and we were ruling, man. And our people were the end thing, all right? And you have images from around those times to prove it, all right? And what did we find out when you go into history? The Byzantine Empire lasted roughly 1,000 years. Some say 1,100, which still goes with the prophecies, man. You see? Now, getting into the second 1,000 years, all right? Revelations 20 and 4, it says, and I saw the thrones, and they sat up on them, and judgment was given to them. And I saw the souls of them which were beheaded for the witness of Hamashiach, and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their heads, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Now, what is this talking about? All right, this is talking about, all right, once judgment is set, all right, the men of the Lord, the ones who fought the elect, the 144,000 that you can read about in Revelation, the 14th chapter, which is the governing body of Yasharahla, which is Israel. All right, Yah, all right, he, Shar, Prince, Allah, power, princes of the power. He is a prince of the power. That is our name. which had for the word, all right, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, all right, neither received his mark, all right, upon his forehead or in their hands, all right. These are the men who were predestined to receive salvation. These are the men who were chosen from the foundation of the earth, and in whom spirit is found no guile, all right. These are the ones who aren't going to take the chip. These are the ones who are going to die and give and sacrifice their lives for this truth, man. They're going to be rewarded with the kingdom of heaven. All right. And it says, and they reign with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Now, let's get this real quick. Because during this 1,000-year period, we're going to be established at the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow to it. So a government is going to be established. All right, a government is going to be established, and many nations shall come and say, let us go to the mountain of the Lord and to the house of God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. That's going to be the hub. And the law is going to go forth. Now, it is written that the Israelites are going to have the law, statutes, and commandments written in their hearts. So these other nations that are going to be coming up can't be Israelites. This is the heathen nations. All right. Once we establish order, all right, what's going to happen? Our ways are going to become the end ways. And we're going to force it and beat it into them to a point where they're going to love it and want to be just like us, man. All right. So, and they reign with Christ 1,000 years. During this 1,000-year period, all right, the Israelites, we're going to be establishing our kingdom upon the planet Earth, man. When you read Ezekiel and let's see, okay, Ezekiel 39 and 14, and they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury the passengers with those that remain upon the face of the earth to cleanse it. All right, after the end of 7 months shall they search. So after nuclear destruction, there's going to be things happening on the earth, man. We're going to be establishing order, all right? It said that the strangers are going to build our walls, our kingdom. And when you read in Isaiah the 60th chapter, man. So during this 1,000-year period, just like when you read in the beginning, the Elohim created the heaven and the earth, the elect men are going to have the front row seat to reestablishing the earth back to its rightful order, man. Just like we helped the Messiah create everything in the beginning. Didn't the Lord say, ye have been with me from the beginning? Man, let's get that. All right. This is John 15 and 27. It says, and ye also shall bear witness of me, because ye have been with me from the beginning. Those elect men who he's going to send the comforter to. All right. Those men are going to have the front row tickets. All right. They're going to be the first governing body. All right. And what are they going to do? They're going to establish the order of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai on the earth, man. Under the rulership of Yahushai, man. All right? It says, but the rest of the dead live not again. All right? until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection, all right? And that's talking about the other nations, man. That's the rest of the dead, all right? As it says in Daniel, man, they had their dominion taken away from them, all right? Daniel 7. All right, this is talking about after the kingdom of heaven is established, man, all right? After the Lord returns with that fiery stream issuing forth, all right? Verse 12, Daniel 7 and 12, it says, as concerning the rest of the beast, they had their dominion taken away, all right? They were conquered as well. It's yes, yet their lives were prolonged for a season in time, all right? Because the only nation that is meant and that is set to be destroyed or obliterated off of the planet is the biblical Edomites. The rest of the nations are just going to be, all right, slaves, man. They're going to be under our rulership as pertaining to the Holy Bible. The Lord said, what? Sit thou at my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool, all right? Under that, we are joint heirs with him. Okay? Going back to Revelation, the 20th chapter, all right? It says, blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. All right? The first dominion. All right? On such the second death have no power, but they shall be priests of the Most High God and of Hamashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. All right? So this is talking about a completely different, because when you keep reading, it'll just say, and when the 1,000 years expired, the 1,000 years here, the kingdom of heaven, according to Daniel, it said the kingdom is going to be forever. All right, the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, and it shall be established forever, man. The kingdom of heaven is not going to be temporal. Affliction shall not rise up a second time, according to the scriptures, man. Once the Yahweh Shai comes and takes this place down, ain't gonna be no more heathen rule, man. They're gonna all be conquered, man. So this 1,000-year period can't link up with this 1,000-year period, man. So let's read it again. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection, on which the second death have no power, man. So that nuclear fire and everything that's going to be happening on the planet Earth, all right, it's not going to touch the elect. Now, you may have particular martyrs, and you may have particular men who aren't on the planet Earth at the time that the Messiah returns, who are of a part of the elect. They're going to rise up first, man. They're going to be on the chariot, all right, awaiting the men of the Lord to be caught up with them, man. We're going to all meet up together, man. So whether you die on this side or whether you make it out by getting beamed up, you don't lose if you're of the elect. That's why I said, blessed is he that have part in the first resurrection, man. The first resurrection is the time where we are going to be established in the kingdom of heaven, man. And we're going to be gaining knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and pass it down as a culture, man. We're going to be the ones who are responsible for establishing that order on the planet Earth. That's why I said they reign with Hamashiach 1,000 years, because it's going to take pretty much 1,000 years to get everything cleaned up. We got to get this concrete out of here. We got to get all this madness out of here. We got to take all of these GMO seeds out of here. We got to get all those bodies buried. We got to beat people in submission. We got to set things in order. The Lord ain't just going to snap his finger, all right, and everything just turns perfect. No. We're going to have we're going to have the gift of, just like we had, like I said, from the beginning, when we created all of the elements and all of that, we're going to get that knowledge back. We're going to look at seeds, and we're going to know, an Israelite child is going to know what each seed and each leaf means to the earth, what it took to make it, okay? Air, we're going to understand how air was created. We're going to understand how the sun, the planets, what they're there for. We're going to have all of that understanding given back to us, man, and establish that as the top knowledge on the planet Earth, man. The law, statutes, and commandments, man. Okay? Which the law, statutes, and commandments is our culture. Okay? Not who made the potato salad, man. Not shooting a 3-pointer from half court and getting $1 million to act a goddamn fool, man. Nah, that ain't our culture, man. Our culture is complete righteousness. Our culture is what's going to save the planet Earth, man. So this 1,000-year period, all right, the men of the Lord, all right, those, because when you read Revelations 14, it tells you what happens if you take the chip, man. But there are particular men whom the Lord have chosen not to take that mark, and their spirit was found no guile. Those men, the 144,000, all right, are going to usher in the new rulership, man. You see what I'm saying? You can read about that in 2nd Esdras as well, man. Those men are going to be hallowed. Those men are going to be worshipped. Those men are going to be reverenced. All right? And you have the chance to be one of these men. You brothers that are out there teaching this word. Your legacy for forever is going to be you are the one of the men who had part, who stood strong, who didn't sway. All right? You may have your own story, your own book, I'm pretty sure. And you're responsible for the kingdom of heaven being established on the earth, man. You're going to walk with the Messiah, and you're going to get this earth right. That's what this 1,000 years is talking about, man. This 1,000 years ain't dealing with this 1,000 years, man. Shh. Let's see. This is Daniel chapter 7 and 26. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume it and destroy it unto the end. Edomite supremacy, all right? It's going to be destroyed. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. All right? This is what's coming to the planet Earth, man. This is what's coming to the planet Earth, man. And we're in that time where the devil has been loosed and is leading into Armageddon. All hell's about to break loose on the planet Earth, man. And the devil's coming. All right? So we should have a clear understanding on the first 1,000-year period dealing with the Byzantine Empire. In the second 1,000-year period, all right, dealing with actually in the kingdom of heaven, man. And I want to be a part of that first resurrection, man. You see that? I want to see it. I want to have a front row seat to seeing America destroyed, man. Just like the Rothschilds had front row seats to see 9/11, we're gonna do it in a higher fashion, man. All right. We should, we're going to be the first priest of our nation, man, that usher in the kingdom of heaven, man. So hopefully I will edify. All praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.